My sister begged me to let her be my birth coach. I thought it was beautiful. She held my hand, cut the cord, cried tears of joy. But 2 weeks later, I found a hidden album on my husband's phone, photos of her wearing my robe, in our bed, while I was still in the hospital. I showed her the picture and said, "How did it feel helping me deliver a baby while sleeping with its father?" She just cried. I didn't. I'd already booked a lawyer, and sent that photo to everyone in the family group chat. I'm 34. I live in Missoula, Montana. I've been married for 6 years to a guy named Rob. We've had our ups and downs like any couple, but we made it work. I thought we were solid. Not perfect, but solid. My sister Haley is 3 years younger than me. We used to be close when we were kids, but the older we got, the more it felt like everything was a competition. She's always been the pretty one, the fun one, the one everyone wants to be around. I've always been the steady one. The one who cleaned up after her messes. The one who forgave her even when she didn't deserve it. Still, I loved her. She's my sister. When I got pregnant, she was more excited than anyone else in the family. She sent me weekly baby updates, checked in all the time, even offered to come to every doctor's appointment. At first, I thought it was sweet. Then it started to feel a little over the top, but I didn't want to say anything. I figured maybe she was trying to bond. When I got closer to my due date, Haley asked if she could be my birth coach. She told me it would mean everything to her. That she wanted to be there for me. She even cried about it. I said yes. The birth was rough. I was in labor for 14 hours. Rob was there. So was Haley. They held my hands. Talked me through the contractions. Haley wiped my forehead. When the baby finally came, Rob cut the cord. Haley cried like it was her baby too. I thought it was beautiful. I really did. Because of some complications, I had to stay in the hospital for a few days. Rob went home to take care of the house and get the nursery ready. Haley stayed with me in the hospital. She brought me snacks, helped with the baby, brushed my hair when I couldn't move. I thanked her. I told her she was amazing. That I couldn't have done it without her. 2 weeks after we brought the baby home, I was nursing in bed and Rob was in the shower. His phone lit up next to me. I wasn't trying to snoop. I swear. But the message on the screen said, "Still can't stop thinking about last time in your bed." I felt like I was going to throw up. He'd been quiet lately. Distant. I thought it was just the stress of a new baby. Lack of sleep. Normal stuff. But that message hit different. I waited till he got out of the shower and casually asked if I could back up the baby photos from his phone. He handed it over without blinking. Gave me the passcode. I played it cool. I opened the gallery. Scrolled. There was an album called Home Sweet Home. I opened it. I wish I hadn't. The first photo was Haley in my robe. My hospital robe. The one she helped me pack. She was sitting on my bed, smiling. Her hair was wet. Our sheets were pulled down like someone had just gotten up. The next few photos were worse. One had Rob's hand on her thigh. Another had them in bed together. She was holding my coffee mug. The one Rob gave me on our anniversary. There were over 40 photos. All taken the second and third nights I was in the hospital. When I was lying in a hospital bed with stitches and IVs. When Haley told me she was at her apartment resting but close by if I needed her. I just stared at the screen. I didn't cry. Not yet. I texted my lawyer. We had talked once before during a rough patch in our marriage, so I still had his number saved. I told him to start the divorce paperwork. I sent him a few of the photos. Then I airdropped the worst one. Haley in my robe, on my bed, smiling, straight to my laptop. Then I sent that photo to the family group chat. No caption. Just the photo. My mom, dad, other siblings, even Rob's mom. Everyone got it at the same time. My phone blew up. Missed calls. Texts. I ignored them. Rob came back into the room, drying his hair. I handed him his phone and said, "Found your little Home Sweet Home album. Cute name." He didn't even try to deny it. Just stood there, staring at me. I walked out of the room. Then I called Haley. She answered like everything was normal. "Hey. How's the baby?" I didn't even say hello. I said, "I saw the photos." There was dead silence on the line. Then she whispered, "You saw them?" I said, "How did it feel? Helping me deliver a baby while sleeping with its father?" She started crying. Not saying anything. Just sobbing. I didn't cry. I'd already cried enough during labor. During the months I spent thinking we were building a family. During the nights I stayed up wondering if I was a good enough wife, a good enough sister. I hung up on her. And I haven't spoken to her since. But this story isn't over. Not even close. After I hung up on Haley, I sat in silence. My baby was asleep in the bassinet next to the bed. The house was quiet. Too quiet. I could hear Rob downstairs pacing. I knew he didn't know what to say. Good. Let him sweat. Then came the knock on the door. It was my mother. She didn't wait for me to answer. She walked right in. "I don't care what happened," she said, "you don't destroy your sister like that." I stared at her. "Excuse me? You humiliated her. She's your sister. That was a private matter." I laughed. Loud and sharp. "She screwed my husband while I was in a hospital bed, Mom. She wore my robe. She slept in my bed." My mom flinched, but she didn't back down. "She's not well. She told me everything. She was lonely. Rob took advantage." I almost threw up. "She was lonely?" I said. "So the cure for loneliness is to sleep with your sister's husband?" "She made a mistake." "No," I said, "she made choices. Over and over." My mom shook her head and walked out. No apology. No support. Just disappointment in me. I sat back down, shaking. An hour later, my older brother Mark showed up. He didn't say much. Just hugged me and said, "I saw the pictures. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says, what they did is disgusting." He looked me in the eye and said, "You want help moving out, I'm there. You want him out, I'll drag him out myself." That's when I started to cry. The first time since I saw the photos. That night, Rob tried to talk. I didn't mean for this to happen. I said nothing. I was stressed. You were always tired. We hadn't had sex in months. Haley she was there. Still, I said nothing. She came on to me. I laughed. "You're blaming her now?" He looked away. I stood up. Calm. Quiet. "You have 48 hours to get out. I already called a locksmith. You won't have access after that." He opened his mouth, probably to beg, maybe to threaten, I didn't care. I walked upstairs. The next day, Haley posted a picture of herself on Instagram. Wearing a long cardigan, sitting in a coffee shop, holding a book. The caption said, "Healing. One day at a time." The comments were full of sympathy. "You're so strong. Whatever happened, you're still a beautiful soul. She doesn't deserve you." That was the day I snapped. I posted a story. It was just text. 2 weeks after giving birth, I found pictures of my sister in my bed, in my robe, with my husband. I was still in the hospital when they were taken. She held my hand while I gave birth. She cried when the baby came. Then she went home and slept in my bed. This isn't healing. This is betrayal. No names. No tagging. But everyone knew. The fallout was ugly. My mom blocked me. My aunt called to say I should take it down. Haley sent me a long message about forgiveness. I didn't reply. Then I found out something else. Rob didn't just sleep with Haley. He took her to dinner. He bought her flowers. He left me alone in a hospital room and drove her to a cabin 2 hours away. I found the receipts. Gas station stops. Hotel bookings under a fake name. But the credit card was ours. He wasn't even careful. That's when I realized this wasn't just a one-time thing. It had been going on for months. Maybe longer. And maybe the baby wasn't even the only secret they kept from me. I didn't sleep that night. I stayed up going through Rob's emails, bank statements, anything I could get into. Every click made my stomach churn. But I needed the truth. All of it. At 2:17 a.m., I found a hotel confirmation under the alias R. Harper. The address was in Sandpoint, Idaho. The date? A month before I gave birth. The guest email was Rob's burner Gmail, one I didn't know existed. Attached was a receipt for a couple's massage and dinner for two. I knew he wasn't alone. The next morning, while feeding the baby, I called the hotel and pretended to be R. Harper's assistant trying to track down a missing phone charger. The woman on the line didn't even pause. "Oh yes," she said cheerfully, "he stayed with a woman, brunette, shoulder-length hair, really pretty. They asked for extra pillows and champagne. So it wasn't just when I was in the hospital. This had been going on." I printed everything. Highlighted dates. Made a folder. Gave it to my lawyer. Told him to go full custody. No visitation unless court-ordered. 2 days later, Rob was officially out of the house. That's when I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. "You think you know everything, but you don't. Ask Haley what happened last Thanksgiving." My heart stopped. Thanksgiving. That's when Haley stayed with us for the weekend. Said her apartment heater broke, so she needed a place to crash. She was unusually quiet that weekend. Rob disappeared to run errands for a full 3 hours on Thanksgiving morning. I was too busy basting a turkey and chasing pregnancy cravings to question it. I didn't reply to the number. Instead, I called Haley. No answer. So I called our cousin Jess. She and Haley used to be close. Jess picked up on the second ring. "Hey," I said. "Random question. Did Haley say anything weird to you last Thanksgiving?" Jess went quiet. "She didn't tell you?" "Tell me what?" "She told me she and Rob hooked up that morning. She thought she might be pregnant." I sat down on the kitchen floor. The baby started crying upstairs, but I couldn't move. "Pregnant? What happened to it?" I asked. She said she took a test. It was negative. But she thought it was a sign. That maybe the universe was giving her a second chance. "A second chance with my husband?" Jess was quiet. I told her she was out of her mind. We haven't talked much since. I hung up and went upstairs to hold my baby. My daughter. My beautiful, innocent daughter born into a nest of lies. Later that week, Rob's lawyer reached out. Said Rob wanted shared custody and was concerned about Dana's emotional state. He had the audacity to call me unstable. That same day, I got an envelope in the mail. No return address. Inside were screenshots of text messages. Rob to someone saved as Angel. "Rob, she's boring. I wish I'd met you first. She's just a baby machine now. Angel, she won't leave though. Not with a kid. Rob, she's too weak. And Haley makes me feel alive." My hands were shaking. Not from sadness. From rage. They thought I was weak. They were about to find out exactly how wrong they were. The next morning, I went to my lawyer and handed him the envelope with the texts. I told him I wanted full custody, no visitation, and to hit Rob with everything we had. Emotional distress. Infidelity. Reckless behavior. I didn't care how long it took. My lawyer didn't blink. "We'll bury him," he said. While the legal process started moving, I started planning something else. Something just for me. I gathered every photo. Every receipt. Every email. Every screenshot of texts and DMs. I made a Google Drive folder, labeled it "For When They Lie." And I waited. I didn't block Rob or Haley. I wanted them to see me moving on. I wanted them to think I was quiet because I was crushed. But I wasn't crushed. I was calculating. It didn't take long for the cracks to show. Haley called me 3 weeks later. She was crying again. "Rob dumped me," she said. "He said he couldn't handle the pressure." I let the silence stretch. Then I asked, "What did you think was going to happen? That you'd play house with the man who cheated on his wife with you? Did you think you were special?" She sobbed louder. "You destroyed everything," I said. "For what? A few weeks of attention? A fantasy?" "I miss you," she whispered. That's when I lost it. "You miss me? You wore my robe while I was bleeding in a hospital bed. You laid in my sheets. You looked my newborn in the face and smiled like you didn't just stab her mother in the back." She didn't respond. I didn't need her to. I hung up and sent her the link to the folder, "For When They Lie." 5 minutes later, she blocked me. But the damage was done. Because then I sent the link to Rob's job. He worked in real estate. Family values, community trust, public-facing role. Turns out, sleeping with your sister-in-law while your wife is giving birth doesn't look great in that line of work. He got fired 2 days later. I sent the link to Haley's boss, too. She worked at a family counseling center. She was asked to resign. They wanted to play grown-up games? Then they'd face grown-up consequences. The divorce finalized 3 months later. I got full custody. No visitation. He didn't even fight it in the end. Just signed the papers and left town. I heard he moved to Spokane. Last I heard, he was waiting tables and living in a studio apartment. Haley moved in with our mom. The same mom who once told me I was the one who went too far. Now they barely speak. You might think I felt empty after all of it. But I didn't. I felt clean. For the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. Do I wish I'd seen the signs earlier? Sure. I ignored red flags because I wanted to believe in my marriage. I wanted to believe my sister loved me. That was my mistake. But I fixed it. And I'll never make that mistake again.